Hi, I'm Queen Sheeks and welcome back to Cooking with Queen Sheeks. In today's video, I'm going to teach you how to make mac and cheese. In this video, you will need all-purpose seasoning, panini, a tray to do your mac and cheese in, salt, mild cheddar and mature cheddar, mozzarella cheese, Béchamel sauce, also known as a white sauce. You can check out my previous video to learn how to make Béchamel sauce from scratch. Also a spatula, a wooden spoon, a pot with water. Don't forget to check out the description below for the full measurement for my mac and cheese. First thing you need to do is turn on your stove. Turn up to the highest to 6 so I can get the water rapidly boiling. Preheat your oven to 180 degrees. Add salt. I add around 2 teaspoons of salt. Now, as you can see, my water has begun to boil. In this time, I'll be adding my pasta in. The full measurement for how much pasta I use will be in the description below. Keep mixing it just for the beginning, just so it doesn't stick together. Now the pasta, if you do check your bag, people have different, on my bag it says the pasta needs to be cooked for 12 minutes. I'll be only cooking it for half the time, as we'll be continuing cooking the oven once I put it in the oven. So I will not be cooking to al dente, I'll be cooking a little bit under al dente. Now, as you can see, it's been boiling for around 8 minutes. 8 to 10 minutes has been boiling for. Yeah, this has to cook a bit longer, I don't know. I keep changing my mind. Now, time to take it off the stove. I'm going to drain off the water and then I'll be back to show you how to do the cheese sauce. Okay, so now we're going to add our Béchamel sauce. And as I said, you can check out my previous video how to make Béchamel sauce from scratch, also known as a white sauce. So now this is on a low heat. We're just going to bring it back up to heat. Now, as you can see, my sauce is very runny, but that's fine. Once you start adding the cheese, it will begin to thicken more. And as soon as it starts heating up as well, it begins to thicken more. Now, I do have additional milk, just in case if it's too thick or it's not as runny, I can add it onto it. If I do add any milk, that will be in the description to let you know how much I've added to my original recipe for Béchamel sauce. So as I'll just suggest, follow my recipe that's been done already, make it, and then come back to this video to make your mac and cheese, and then check the description of how much extra milk I've added into it and how much cheese. Now, let's get into the cheeses. So, this is 2 bowls. In this bowl, there's mild cheddar, there's mature cheddar, and there's mozzarella cheese. So the only reason the mozzarella cheese is in this bowl and not in this bowl, as mozzarella is more harder cheese to melt in mac and cheese, so it's easier to go on top and melt in the oven than it is to melt in a cheese sauce. So if my cheese sauce is only half mature cheddar and half mild cheddar for my cheese sauce. The exact measurement for how much of each will be in the description, and the exact measurement for how much of this will be in the description. So this is, as I said, mature cheddar, mild cheddar, and mozzarella. This will be going on top of the macaroni and cheese. And this is mature cheddar and mild cheddar, which will be going inside the cheese sauce. So now, as you can see, it's all smooth and it's burned back up to E. So now I'm going to start begin to add my cheese. Best thing is if you cut the cheese all around the same size, it'll be quicker to melt inside the sauce. Just add that in. All that cheese. Is it me? Do you know what the question is? How do you like your mac and cheese? That's the big question, because some people like a really thick mac and cheese where you can literally cut, so it's like really firm, and some people like a runny mac and cheese. Me, I'm not sure. To be fair, most of the time when I do make mac and cheese, I do make a really thick one, which you can hardly so it's like really firm. So once you bake it, it's like you can cut into cubes. People like that's mac and cheese bake because but that's my mac and cheese. And then some people like the more runny one. Now, so the thing is, now if you're gonna make it the more runny one, I wouldn't suggest a really thick cheese sauce, and I would suggest that you cook in the oven for less time. So as I say, when you put it into the oven, it does continue to cook in the oven, so the pasta will cook out more and it will get more firm. So if you're going to do a runny one, so instead of cooking it, for people who cook it for like 30 minutes in the oven, I would suggest cooking it for half the time, just so it's more a runny consistency when you do cut it. And always leave your mac and cheese once it's come out of the oven to rest for around 10 minutes before you begin cutting it. And if you want a firm mac and cheese, a thick cheese sauce will be good. And then you just bake it for around 30 minutes. Or I think, soon as the top is gone nice and crunchy and all the cheese is melted, that's the perfect. So now let me melt this out. As you can see, all the cheese is literally melting out. And as you can see, my stove is on a low heat, just so we don't burn it, as cheese sauce is easy to burn and cheese is easy to burn. So just mix it out for a few more minutes. So this will melt my cheese sauce. Okay, as you can see, all my cheese is melted. Now, as I say, please taste. Now, I like to season my mac and cheese sauce. So this is all-purpose seasoning. So roughly around half a teaspoon. A little pinch more. Can't have too much, and you do not need more salt, as cheese tend to be salty. Get me another spoon. No double dipping. Now that's really cheesy. If you don't think it's cheesy enough, you can always add more cheese. As I will say, my recipe is only a guide. You can always adjust to your liking. But now, as you can see, my stove is so low. So now, I don't know, do I think you need more cheese? That's the question. No, I'm joking. So here's my pasta that's been drained. So I'm gonna add all my pasta in. And we're gonna stir, really stir it so the whole pasta is coated and it's gotten into the holes and everything. So this is real mac and cheese. Don't worry about it if it looks a bit runny, it doesn't matter. Once it goes into the oven and it cooks for a bit, it will be tasting delicious. Okay, let's just leave that on a low heat for a little bit. Put everything on. Now, this is the time you need your baking tray. Move this to the side. Just wash my pasta off a bit. Now, I like to leave it on it for a little bit, just so, turn it a little bit high, just so the sauce can reduce a bit. I don't know, I feel like that other thing. So right now I'm mixing all the cheeses together. So it's my mozzarella, and literally for my mozzarella, all I've did is just rip the cheese up. As you can see, just mix it all together. And this is mozzarella, this is mature cheddar, and this is also mild cheddar. Leave that for a bit, for it to bubble. Now, if you do think, if you like it more thick or what, you can add more cheese. You can always adjust my recipe. This is, as I said, there's only a guide. I don't think it needs more cheese. It tastes so cheesy right now and creamy. So now, turn off the heat. We're gonna pour this inside our dish. Now this is a no egg mac and cheese. There's no egg, there's no nothing. So I'm gonna pour it in. Use my little spoon. Cheese sauce, guys, I'm not wasting nothing. Cheese sauce is delicious. Get your spatula, scrape all that lovely cheese sauce out. Now, make sure everything is coated. Now, hold it on the side. Now we're gonna put the cheese on top. So just sprinkle it all over. Does not need to be perfect, doesn't need to be precise, but we're just going to tuck into this once this is ready and baked and come out of the oven. Just do however you like. This is not, it's all in the taste for me. And remember, your oven's been preheated at 180 degrees, so by the time everything is set up and ready, the oven will be perfectly hot. Guys, when you taste this for yourself, woo, this is absolutely delicious. And this is simple. This is not too much ingredients, just a few cheeses. I know some people do 10, people do loads of cheese, but why complicate something so simple, something so delicious? Why do you need to complicate it? Yeah, take off that cheese on my hand because I ain't wasting no cheese. We don't waste cheese over here, do we? No, we don't. So, take off that look of cheese, you know? We not waste cheese over here. Okay, so that's it. Now, as the oven has been preheated for 180 degrees, we're going to put in the oven. For me, I'm going to put it in the oven for around 30 minutes. Now we're going to put in the oven. And we'll be back in 30 minutes for the finished product of my creamy mac and cheese. Let's give it a try. Oh my god. Do you hear that noise? I did it again. One more. Okay, let's put it on. So I hope you enjoyed today's video of how to make a creamy mac and cheese. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more cooking content. And I may have a fried mac and cheese recipe coming soon. Thank you for watching. Bye!